Okay, good afternoon, my dear children. In our previous period, we were discussing the lesson written by Mahatma Gandhi, that is, what is moral action? Okay, so far we have discussed about how many criteria to decide whether the act done by us is moral or non-moral. How many criteria have we discussed so far? Who will tell me the answer? How many I am asking? Number. Siri? Siri? Siri, can you speak out? Okay, one minute, she message. Okay, we have discussed three criteria. Correct answer. Okay, so Vidya. Vidya? Vidya, can you speak? Okay, Pratham Bhatt. Pratham Bhatt.
Yes, Mataji.
Now, can you tell me the criteria? We have discussed three criteria, no, on the basis of which we can decide whether our act is moral or non-moral.
We should not be mechanical.
Exactly.
Intention of doing good work.
Definitely.
Free from fear and compulsion.
Yes, our act should be free from fear and compulsion. So we have discussed many examples there. Children, let us go for the next criteria today in the next paragraph. First, I will read out the paragraph for you. Okay. See, was the screen visible for you yesterday when I was reading the lesson? Yes or no, children? If it is yes, raise your hand. Yes? Yes, okay, nice. Now also I'll share the screen for you. I'll read out paragraph number 5. Later we'll discuss it. Yes, okay. See, just as a moral action should be free from fear or compulsion, so should there be no self-interest behind it. This is not to say that actions prompted by self-interest are all worthless, but only that to call them moral would detract from the dignity of the moral idea. That honesty cannot long endure, that honesty cannot long endure, which is practiced in the belief that it is the best policy. As Shakespeare says, love born out of the profit motive is no love. Okay. See here, children. What is Gandhiji telling here? What is Gandhiji telling here? Gandhiji is telling that, see, the act to be moral, it not only has to be what? Free from fear and compulsion, it also should be what? It should not have what? Self-interest. If you are doing any act for self-interest, then it will not become moral. That is the idea of Gandhiji. So, he is also adding, okay, he is saying that we cannot say that the acts done with self-interest, they are worthless. Okay. So, self-interest ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. But to call them moral, so it will reduce the dignity of the word morality. That is what Gandhiji is telling in this paragraph. So, self-interest, if it is done with self-interest, then in case of that, that action would not become moral. So, he is saying that the honesty, that honesty will not long endure. Endure andre artha ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಎಂಡ್ಯೂರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದಿನದ ತನಕ ಉಳಿಯೋದು. Okay, he is saying that honesty will not long endure, which is practiced in the belief that honesty is the best policy. Okay, if we practice honesty, believing that it is the best policy, then that honesty will not long endure. ಅದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉದ್ದದ ದಿನದ ತನಕ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದಿನಗಳ ತನಕ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we should not practice honesty as it is best policy. We should practice honesty because it is the right policy. Okay, so if we practice honesty with the belief that it is the right policy, if we practice honesty with the opinion that it is the correct policy to be practiced, only in that case honesty will what? It will endure for a long period. If it is practiced with the what? With the belief that it is the best policy, okay, then it will not endure for a long period. It is the idea of Gandhiji. So ಯಾವುದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೇವೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು. ಆದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ only when our conscience permits us, okay, then only we'll feel that it is the right one. So Gandhiji is telling, so honesty should be practiced because it is the right policy, not because it is the best policy. Okay, if we practice believing that it is the right policy, then our act would become what? Moral. So loving someone with a profit motive, again it is not a moral act, it is non-moral act. So that is told in paragraph number 5. So in this paragraph there is no difficulty. So I will go for the next paragraph, paragraph number 6, which is the last paragraph. So I will read out the paragraph for you. See there, children. Just as an action prompted by the motive of material gain here on earth is non-moral, I'll repeat the sentence again, children. See, just as an action prompted by the motive of material gain here on earth is non-moral, so also another done for considerations of comfort and personal happiness in another world is non-moral. That action is moral which is done only for the sake of doing good. A great Christian, Saint Francis Xavier, passionately prayed that his mind might always remain pure. For him, devotion to God was not for enjoying a higher seat after death. He prayed because it was man's duty to pray. The great saint Teresa wished to have a torch in her right hand and a vessel of water in her left, so that with the one she might burn the glories of heaven and with the other extinguish the fire of hell, and men might learn to serve God from love alone, without the fear of hell and without temptation of heavenly bliss. To preserve morality thus demands a brave man prepared to face even death. It is cowardice to be true to friends and to break faith with enemies. Those who do good out of fear and haltingly have no moral virtue. Henry Clay, known for his kindliness, sacrificed his convictions to his ambition. Daniel Webster, for all his great intellect and his sense of heroic and the sublime, once sold his intellectual integrity for a price. By a single mean act, he wiped out all his good deeds. This shows how difficult it is to judge the morality of man's action because we cannot penetrate the depths of his mind. We have also the answer to the question raised at the outset of the chapter, what is a moral action. Incidentally, we also saw which kind of men would live up to that morality. Okay. What very thoughtful paragraph of the lesson it is. See, because it is very nice or very thoughtful, Gandhiji might have taken this paragraph at the end of the lesson as the conclusive part of the lesson. So, here he is giving another criteria to decide whether our action is moral or non-moral, and he has given the example of two people there. One is Saint Teresa and another one is Saint Francis Xavier. Okay. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕವ್ರು ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೇನೆ ಓಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀನ್ ಹಂಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನರಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ, ಹೌದಾ? ನೀನು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ನರಕ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ? ಒಂದೇ ನನಗೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡೆತ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡೆತ್. ನೀನು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನರಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ, ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಬಾಂಬ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಜಿಲೇಬಿ ಹಾಕ್ದಂಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ತೆಗಿತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಮೃತ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. So this type of feeling will be what? It will be what? Planted in our mind when we are very in our very childhood itself, right? So heavenly bliss and the fear of hell. So that makes us to decide to good act or to bad act. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಜನ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ನರಕವನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ. So in this paragraph, Mahatma Gandhi is saying that we should not act. So our act becomes moral only when we act without the fear of hell and without the temptation of heavenly bliss. Okay. So here he is taking, first of all, he is taking the example of Saint Xavier Francis, right? Saint Xavier Francis example he is taking. Children, do you remember Ignatius Loyola? 9th standard you have learnt, no? I'll name the lesson also. Religious Reformation chapter in maybe Middle Europe lesson. Religious Reformation. There you have learnt about Protestants, no? Religious Reformation movement was led by Martin Luther. Do you remember anything? Akshay remembers anything? Don't remember? Who remembers that? Okay, I have one student here. Yes, that is Nutan. Nutan, what do you remember about that?
When Martin Luther protested against Catholics and Catholics become weak, then Ignatius Loyola he started a recovery revolution against Protestants.
Yes, very nice, man. Okay, so what happened? There were many evils, social evils in the society because of the practice of Roman Catholic Church. You know why Martin Luther led that religious reformation movement, very popular one, that is letter of pardon. ಹೌದಾ? ನೀನು ಚರ್ಚಿಗೆ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನ ಜನರ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ the people were influenced by the words of Pope. ಹೌದಾ? So Martin Luther, he fought against this one, and the movement started by him was called Protestants. Okay, he was the Protestants church. It was second sect of Christianity. So he rose against the practice of Roman Catholic Church. Then what happened? Roman Catholics, they thought that they were losing their power there, and their existence was there in difficulty because the people were very much influenced by the words and the examples given by Protestants. That's why what happened, Ignatius Loyola, people like Ignatius Loyola, they thought of reforming the Roman Catholic Church. Roman Catholic Church ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಏನ್ ಇವಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡುವುದ್ರ ಕಡೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ founded a society called Jesuist Society, the Society of Jesus, and the followers of Society of Jesus were called Jesuits, right? So this person, Saint Xavier Francis is there, no? He was also one of the founders. He was there with Ignatius Loyola at that time in forming what? This Jesuist Society. In your glossary part, they have given some information about him. Just I'll read it out. See, Saint Francis Xavier, 1506 to 1552, Jesuit missionary known as the Apostle of the Indies, brought Christianity to India, Southeast Asia, Japan, etc., associated with Ignatius of Loyola in founding the order of Jesuits. Okay, so this is Saint Francis Xavier. So this person is known as Apostle of Indies. Apostle here means, see, every disciple of Jesus Christ had got 12 disciples, no? Each of his disciples were called what, children? Apostles. So he was called the Apostle of what, children? Your Indies, because he introduced Christianity and he helped in establishing Christian missionaries in these regions, India, Southeast Asian countries, Japan, and all. Okay, so this person, he told that he should pray. Okay, so man should pray as it is his duty to pray. So for getting higher seat after death in the other world, we should not do any act. If we do any act with the intention of getting higher seat in the other world after our death, in that case our act would become non-moral. Okay, and another example is taking. It is about Saint Teresa, children. So Saint Teresa, it is not Mother Teresa. So she was a different person. She is called. Again, I'll read out the information about her. In your glossary it is given. Saint Teresa, known as Teresa of Avila. Okay, 1515 to 1582. Spanish nun, reformer of the Carmelite order, wrote her own mystical experience. So she was also a great saint. She was a Spanish nun. So this lady, she always wished to have torch in her one hand, and in another hand she wanted to hold, children, what? A vessel of water. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಾನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಳ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾವನ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಿಸ್ಸು ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮತ್ತೇನ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, ಅವಳಿಗೆ ನರಕದ ಭಯ ಕೂಡ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಶ್ ದ ಫೈರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ and to what, children? Burn the glory of heaven. She wanted to have a vessel of water in one hand and a torch in another hand. See the thought. Here you should what? Experience this thinking, this thought, children. See, while doing any act, we should see that we have to do it because it is right act to be done. Okay, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರು ಇದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ, ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ, ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರ ಇರಬೇಕೇ ಹೊರತು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಹಿಂಗ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಮೋಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. We should not even think about the life after death. Okay, that is what is told in this paragraph. Okay, then he is giving the example of two other people. No, one is Henry Clay and another one is, children, that is yes, what is that? Daniel Webster. Okay, so this Henry Clay and Daniel Webster, both of these persons, they belong to United States of America, and both of them fought against slavery. but okay, but at one point they made a compromise. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವರ election ವಿಚಾರ ಬಂತು, when it came to their election or their nomination for the candidature of their presidency, what did they do? They left their conviction and they they kept themselves with their ambition. That is what Gandhiji is telling. If they were fighting against slavery, if they believed that slavery is wrong, practicing slavery is wrong, what they were expected to do at any cost, okay, they had to stand with their conviction. What was their conviction? What was their belief? Their belief was that slavery, practicing slavery was wrong. ಹೌದಾ? ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಏನಾದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ when it came to their nomination to what children, candidature to their presidency, ಒಂದು ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ they made compromise. They wanted to become what? The member of Senate or something else there. American Parliament ಇಂದೋ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾಗೋ ಆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವರ ಫೈಟ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಸ್ಲೇವರಿ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ವಾಸ್ ನೆವರ್, ಓಕೆ, like he was never means he was never was such a person, Gandhiji. So that's why, see, he's telling about Daniel Webster. No, Daniel Webster ಒಂದು ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1850 ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಗಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಇವರು ಯಾರು, ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆನ್ರಿ ಕ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲವರು. ಸೊ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ವಾರ್ ಆಗೋದು ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸಿವಿಲ್ ವಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಮೆರಿಕದ ಜನರು ಅಮೆರಿಕದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ತಿರುಗಿ ಬೀಳುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ವಾರ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶದ ಜನರು ಅವರದ್ದೇ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ತಿರುಗಿ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ವಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿ ಬಿಲೀವ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಲೇವರಿ ವಾಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಲೇವರಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬಿಡದೆ ಇರೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರು? ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸ್ಟರ್. Meeting is going to end within 5 minutes. Let us do one thing, children. Let us end the meeting here and let us rejoin. Be very quick, okay?